All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. It is the 7th of July of 2022. My name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding immigration lawyer here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. And welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're joining us on Facebook, hello. YouTube, hello. Instagram, hello. TikTok, hello. Thank you all so much for being here. I love it. I love it. And so, here at the Empowered Immigrant Live, we're here to train, to teach, to inspire, and to empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration laws and to make the most out of their lives. And today our theme is who should apply for consular processing. All right, who should apply for consular processing? And my question for you is, do you want to get a green card? All right, do you want to get a green card this year? Is this year your year? All right, because if so, go for it. I'd love to help you with that. All right, my firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases in the next 10 years, and we would love for your case to be one of them, all right? And it always starts with just a simple phone call, and away we go. And we can start the consultation process, and we can see how we can help, okay? Thanks to everyone who asked their questions. We've got 30 minutes to discuss this topic in English, then we'll do this episode in Spanish. Si usted habla español, que venga con nosotros en unos 30 minutos y vamos a hacerlo en español, all right? The theme for today is who should apply for consular processing. I'm going to go super quick through this theme because we've received a lot of questions. I love how many questions that we've received today. And if you've got a question, feel free to submit it, all right? Put it in the comments, put it in the chat, put it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, and we will do what we can to answer it. But I have received already a lot of questions, and so I want to get to the ones that have asked and submitted them ahead of time. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. So the theme, again, for today is who should apply for consular processing. And as always, we got to discuss the basics. All right, we got to discuss the basics. So first of all, what are we talking about when we talk about consular processing? All right, so remember, to get a green card through family, there are two legal processes. All right, process one is called adjustment of status. And adjustment of status is done here in the United States. All right, if your family member, if the immigrant in question is currently here in the United States, let's see if you can do adjustment of status first. It's better, all right? And the other process, there is another process, when adjustment of status doesn't work or when adjustment of status is not available, the other way to get a green card through family is through what's called consular processing, where you process that green card application at the U.S. consular post or the U.S. embassy in the immigrants in that person's country, or in sometimes we don't do it in that country necessarily. We could do it in a third country sometimes. We call that third country processing. But anyways, it's processing a green card or an immigrant visa at a consular post or an embassy outside the United States. Got it? So now here's the way it works, all right? To answer the question of who is eligible for consular processing, here's the way it works. If you entered the U.S. lawfully, if you are in the United States now, all right, first talk to a lawyer and see if you're eligible for adjustment of status, that first process I was talking about. But if not, if you're not in the United States, you're outside the country. If you entered the U.S. unlawfully and you're not eligible to adjust status, all right, then you will likely need to consular process. There are some exceptions. All right, there's always exceptions. And so talk to a lawyer first regardless. Exception number 1 is 245I. 245I, if you entered the U.S. and have a petition filed before April 30th of 2001, then you might be eligible under an old law to adjust your status. You don't have to consular process, all right, even if you entered without permission. All right, that's exception number 1. Exception number 2, real quickly, is if you have a child or a spouse who's in the U.S. military. If you have a child or a spouse who's in the U.S. military, they can request a parole document for you, and now you don't have to have entered lawfully. If you're here in the U.S., you can adjust your status and not go through the consular process. Everybody else, though, if you entered the U.S. unlawfully, or if you're not in the U.S. right now, you will likely need to process your case through the U.S. consulate. Okay? So sometimes it's tough, all right? Sometimes it's tough. Like imagine you're a 21-year-old child, you want to petition your parent to get a green card. Our office has consultations like that every day, all right? Imagine you're a 21-year-old child, you want to petition for your parents so that your parents can get status, all right? Well, if your parent is here in the U.S. and if they entered lawfully, they should be eligible to adjust status as long as they're not inadmissible. Let's do a consultation. We can get to the bottom of that. But they should be eligible to adjust status if they've just entered once, if they've entered lawfully. All right? And if your parents aren't here at all, if they're overseas and you're a U.S. citizen who turned 21, hey, you can file a petition. You can process the case through the consulate. Consular processing. Great. But the question is always, it always comes up. All right? We see this almost daily. Imagine that you're a kid, you're a U.S. citizen, you turn 21, you want to help your parents out, all right? But your parents are here in the U.S. and they entered unlawfully. That's where we got to be careful, okay? Sometimes there's no option in cases like that, all right? Often you're not eligible to adjust unless there's 245I or unless a child's in the military or a spouse is in the military, all right? Like I just mentioned, those are 2 exceptions. And if the parent were to go through the consular process, the second they leave the U.S., they would likely trigger a 10-year bar. All right? And so you got to see, is there an argument for 245I? Is there an argument for military parole in place, the military-based option, or is somebody eligible for a waiver of the 10-year bar? Because if not, then don't consular process. Let's find some other option. Got it? That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. All right? So what's the punchline? Who's eligible for consular processing? All right? Remember, if you're here in the U.S. and you entered lawfully, then you're probably eligible to adjust status, do an adjustment of status. But if you're not in the U.S., or if you are here in the U.S. but you entered unlawfully, you'll likely need to consular process. In either of these cases, talk to a lawyer first. Let's do the legal analysis first, and let's see how we can help you. Okay? That's all I got. Thank you. I want to turn to our questions because we've got a lot of questions today. All right? And if you ask your question in English, I'll answer it in English. If you ask your question in Spanish, I'll save it to the one that we received, or to the Spanish episode, just because we have 15 different questions that we've received this time. And so if you submitted your question ahead of time in English, I'll answer it right now. Okay? So, and some of them are quick, all right? So Tunji, all right? Tunji, I don't know if I say your name quite right, but you're the person who I see here has asked the question in English first, all right? So Tunji, your question is, I've been stuck in the USA for over 25 years with no lawful status. What are my options? All right. And so Tunji, thank you for asking that question. You are not alone. You're not alone. All right. Undocumented, stuck in the US, 25 years, no lawful status. What can I do? All right. Your options are limited. All right. Did you know there's like 11 million people in the United States that are in that situation? You're stuck in the US without documents. All right. And I'd love to help you through that. The way to do that is through a consultation to really go into your situation and to see what options are there. But the big ones, just so you're aware, my first questions for you are you married? All right. Are you married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, or to somebody who has immigration status of some kind and is going through the process? All right. Do you have anyone else in your family who has status and who could petition for you? Maybe a child, all right, who's a U.S. citizen, perhaps? All right, that's my second question. Have you ever been the victim of any harm, abuse, crime, attack, assault here in the United States? If so, you might be eligible for a U visa, all right? Have you ever been the victim of any crime, assault, attack, problem, abuse in a relationship in the United States? If so, you might be eligible for VAWA, okay, depending on the status of your spouse or, spouse, or in some instances, parent. Do you have any reason to be afraid for your life to return to your home country? And that is a question regarding asylum. And then there's one other question I always ask, and that is, do you have children or a U.S. citizen spouse, parent, or child, or a green card holding spouse, parent, or child who depends on you to a very, very high level, like for their survival, serious medical hardship or medical issues, to see if maybe you're eligible for cancellation of removal. Got it? Those are basically the questions to ask. And we'd love to go through all of that with you, to go through what your options are. All right? And, there are nuances to all of those questions. If you have a spouse or child who's in the military, let's talk that over. If you may have been the victim of a crime in the past, but you never reported it, there's things that we could talk through about that. There's lots of nuance to discuss. And the best way to do that, my best advice, Tunji, hey, give us a call to start the process. Let's do an evaluation. The evaluation is absolutely free, all right? In that evaluation, you can decide, is it worth your time, your money, to book a full consultation with my team? And then away we go. Okay? Awesome. Thank you. The next question I have comes from Ileana. All right, Ileana, thank you. You say, I am Venezuelan, came to the United States with my husband in June 2005 with a tourist visa, applied for asylum, all right? And then my asylum case was denied. The BIA denied it too. Now I have approved TPS, and I have approved I-130 by my U.S. citizen sister. NVC sent me an email to start the consular process. What can I do? What are the steps that I should take to get this green card? Okay, Ileana, that is a great question. Thank you for asking that question. Do not do your case alone. Have a lawyer who knows what they're doing to help you. Your first step, you have a deportation order against you. Your asylum case was denied. The denial was reaffirmed by the Board of Immigration Appeals. You have a deportation order against you. It's great that you've been approved for TPS, all right? But that doesn't undo the deportation order against you. So you've got to first use the Biden administration's prosecutorial discretion memos, ask them in their discretion to reopen and terminate your case. Okay, that's step one. after you reopen and terminate your case, now you don't have a deport order against you anymore. Now you can go through the consular process. But as you go through the consular process, you want to use your TPS. This is an advanced strategy, folks. Use your TPS to apply for advanced parole so that you can parole out of the U.S., go to your consular interview without risk. If they deny you in the consulate, you've still got a document to come back to the U.S. You got what I'm saying? All right? That's an advanced strategy, and you do want to do it because it will protect you just in case something goes wrong at the consulate. Okay? And so I recommend you do that. We'd love to help you with that. Ileana, give us a call. We'd love to help you. We'd love to help your husband. Like, let's help you. Okay? So awesome. Thank you. I hope that was helpful. Please do give us a call. The next question that I see is from Ramesh. All right, Ramesh, thank you. You say, I received a letter from the Department of Homeland Security, I-797C, Notice of Action 2009. My green card number is printed on it. What does that mean? All right, Ramesh, thank you for asking that question. I don't know what it means. An I-797C Notice of Action means that USCIS is taking some kind of action. But it might be a transfer notice. It might be an approval notice. It might be a notice that your green card is being rescinded. It could be all kinds of things. All right. It could be an interview notice. So you've got to pay attention. You got to look closely on the top left corner. It'll say type of notice. All right. And maybe it'll say an approval notice or a transfer notice. Any of those notice types, you got to look. You got to really look at it and see what type of notice it is, and then I could give you better advice about it. And if you're not clear, hey, do a consultation, let's look at it. We could look at it together, and we could make sure that you're clear on exactly what type of notice it is. Okay? All right, we're doing great, everybody. We're doing great. So I see a question from Ryan. Ryan, thank you for your question. You say, why is my petition taking so long? Even though they already know, is it government incompetence and ineptitude? Well, why is your petition taking so long? So, I mean, first thing is that all petitions are taking a long time, all right? And so maybe your case is completely within normal processing times, even though it's very, very much delayed, because every immigration, like welcome to immigration law. Right? It's like everything is delayed right now. Part of that's COVID-19 pandemic. Part of it is what you say, government incompetence. They haven't hired enough officers to address the amount of cases that they have. Does that make sense? And so that's part of it. But the other part of it is, hey, maybe your petition wasn't done properly. All right? And so if your petition wasn't done properly, then you got to look at it. Right? You want to make sure that assuming your petition was done 100% properly, then the question is just what type of petition is it, what category is it in, and is it within current processing times? Because if it's not within current processing times, hey, time to start doing inquiries with the government, being like, yo, what's going on in my case? Yo, what's going on in my case? You can call the 1-800 number. Hey, what's going on in my case? All right? And if you really want to get more assertive about it, you could do what's called an ombudsman request. I have trainings, I have videos about that. Or you could hire our office. We could really get serious about it if you're really outside of processing times. But check uscis.gov first. See if you really are outside of processing times. Okay? It looks like those were all the questions that I received ahead of time in English. All right? So I'll save the other questions for our Spanish question, but really quick, hello to everybody who has joined us. All right, Max Alchemy, hello on Instagram, and Gilman Immigration, hello on Instagram. Clow, hello. Maro, hello. Arut Yun, hello on Instagram. Thank you so much. Christopher Carbajal, hello. I see you say hello there. I think you're on YouTube. And I can't see all of our platforms all at once. If you're here on YouTube, hello. If you're here on Facebook, Hello. On Instagram, on TikTok, hello. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope this content has been helpful. My name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding immigration attorney here at Landerholm Immigration A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. Look, if you still have immigration law questions, if I haven't answered those questions, hey, I would still love to answer them, all right? Please send it over. I'll record a video. We'll upload it to YouTube. The way to see that is to hit the subscription, like to subscribe to our channel in YouTube. So take a moment and do that, all right? And then I also recommend hitting that notifications bell on YouTube so that you get notified every time we upload a new video, all right? And so thank you so much for being here. It is the 7th of July of 2022, all right? If you have an immigration case, hey, please give us a call. I mean, that's what this is all about. We'd love to help you. We are here to help, okay? And so thank you so much for being here. I'm Otis Landerholm, Landerholm Immigration A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream, and I will see you on our next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Thanks, everybody. Adios. Bye-bye.